Hi everybody, welcome to a 1490 Doom Battle Report. Iron Crows versus Order of the Final Flame. In the ashen spring of 1491, the creeping death had reached the battlements of Voldbruch Keep, now a crumbling ruin. Rumors had told of hidden resource caches, salted meat, clean water, maybe something even better. The Iron Crows, cold pragmatists, planned to climb to claim it. But the Order of the Final Flame had already lit their torches, declaring the site holy ground. Two Doom companies meet, not just for survival, but for dominance over the once proud keep. This is a battle for high ground and resources. Check out my introduction video to 1490 Doom with more information about the game and the rules. I'll put a link in the description. But now, let's meet the Doom companies. The captain of the Iron Crows is the knight Ser Gerbrandt. He has his captain reroll and he has improved his skill. He has several defensive special abilities that makes him very hard to injure. On his right, the fighter Orrick. He is equipped with a ladder and he has offensive abilities that enables him to attack more than one opponent. His weapon is a spear, so he can attack enemies up to 2 inches away from him. On the left is Jarn, the scout. He's equipped with a grappling hook. He also has special abilities, so he can take and steal the initiative. He will start the battle on the battlefield, and he can also add an extra resource cache. His weapon is a bow. He prefers combat from a distance. The captain of the Order of the Final Flame is Avelyn. She is a mysterious assassin with the nickname Avelyn the Flame. She has her captain reroll and she's equipped with an extra light weapon so she can dual wield daggers. Avelyn is hidden on the battlefield until she actually does something with her Night Stalker ability, and she can also perform Killshot, a feared attack. Finally, she is a camouflaged climber. To her right is the Scavenger Marek, equipped with a grappling hook. He's armed with a club and he is a very, very skilled warrior. He also has abilities that enables him to reroll skill checks. And finally, Drogan the Brute. He has improved his movement stat and he is armed with a heavy club. And then he has several special abilities that make him very dangerous. Here are a few examples of some of the special abilities. The Scout, for example, that can take the initiative. And then we have Drogan the Brute, who can throw his enemies around. And I will, of course, get back to these special abilities if they are used during the battle. The terrain is set on the 2x2 foot board and the next step is deployment. So let's roll for initiative to see who will deploy first. The Iron Crows roll a 1 and they will be easily beaten by the Order of the Final Flame, so they will deploy first. Warriors deploy at the edge of the battlefield, so they are technically not on the battlefield before their first activation. Avelyn is the first warrior to deploy and the Iron Crows will deploy their fighter close to the stairs. That might not be a bad idea. Then comes Drogan, and the warriors must have at least 5 inches between them, so they can't deploy right next to each other. Drogan is deployed. The Iron Crows will deploy their next warrior, the Scout, on the backside of the keep. And then the Order of the Final Flame will deploy their last warrior, Marek the Scavenger. And the final warrior to deploy close to the entrance of the castle is the captain of the Iron Crows, Ser Gerbrandt. With all the Doom warriors deployed, the next step is to find out exactly where the resource caches are. One resource cache is always placed at the tallest structure near the center of the battlefield, so this one is already there. Then what you do is to divide the board equally into 4 quadrants, and we will count 1, 2, 3, and 4 here at the lower right, and then the first player will roll a d4. In this case, the next resource cache will be in quadrant number 3. So let's put it here. It must be between 4 and 6 inches from the center of the battlefield and on a structure. Now let's get the next one. It's in quadrant number 2. And of course, with the same rules, the resource cache will be here. And that is all the 3 basic resource caches placed. Because the Iron Crows have a scout with them, he has the ability I can smell it and can place another resource cache within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. So let's put that one here. And that is all the deployment done. Another scout ability is Early Bird. Jarn, the scout, can move up to 4 inches onto the battlefield before the first round. So let's get to the initiative now. And there the scout also has an advantage. He can take the initiative, and if the 2 Doom companies roll a tie for initiative, the Doom company with the scout will win. Let's see if that will be necessary. The Iron Crows roll the highest and will, without the scout's ability, easily win the initiative, and they will activate first in round 1. Orrick, the fighter, is the first warrior to activate, and he just wants to get inside the keep. He'll spend his first action to move. He has a movement of 4 inches, and the second action to dash, and dash is always 2 inches. That will take him up the stairs and all the way up here to the first level. The Scavenger, Marek, will activate next. He has a movement of 5 inches that will take him all the way to the wall, and then he will set his grappling hook. The grappling hook can be set up to 6 inches up, and it takes a skill check, and as a scavenger, he has a skill of 3. And he makes it. He will throw the grappling hook, it will hook itself on the wall, and he will be able to move up next round. Let's put the grappling hook here. The scout is already close to the wall, and he will move the rest of the way to a spot where the wall is 3 inches or less, so he can climb. And that will also take a skill check. He has a skill of 4, and he rolls a 1. And that's bad, because not only will he fail, he will also drop down. He must now roll to see if he receives any falling damage, and he rolls a 4, and that's 1 damage. He will lose 1 vitality because he fell down. If a warrior falls more than 4 inches, 1 must be added to the roll, and more than 6 inches will add 2. But in his case, he was lucky. It was not that long. Avelyn activates next. She moves to the keep wall, and she will also try to climb. She has a skill of 5, but she only needs a 3 because she is a camouflaged climber. But she fails anyway, and it's another roll of 1. She also has to roll for falling damage, and the roll is low enough, so she won't take any damage, and her vitality is intact. The Iron Crow's captain, Ser Gerbrandt, cannot reach the keep wall in 1 action, so he will have to move and dash, and that will take him to the wall. And finally, Drogan activates. He could follow the fighter, or he could try to reach the knight. And that's his choice. So he will also move and dash. That will not bring him into base contact, but closer. That was the first round. So far, the fighter is the only one on or inside the keep. The scavenger has set his grappling hook, and, well, let's just go to round 2. Every round begins with initiative. Let's see who will take this time. And the order of the final flame will win. Now is a chance for the scout to use his ability to steal the initiative, but he will wait. So the order of the final flame will activate first, and Drogan can now reach Ser Gerbrandt with his first action. The brute has 2 attacks and a combat of 4, so 2 dice are rolled, and a 4 or more he will hit. And there is at least 1 hit, and the other one is a failed attempt. So he will hit once, and Ser Gerbrandt has a chance to defend. Normally he has a defense of 4, but because of his shield, the first attack every round will give him +1, so he will only need a roll of 3 to block the attack. But unfortunately he fails. He will take 2 damage because Drogan hits him with a heavy weapon and lose 2 vitality. But it's not over yet, because Drogan also failed an attack, and the knight has the special ability Defender's Parry, so he can block a failed attack and do damage in return. It's only a once per game ability, but he will use it here. So Drogan will now take 2 damage, and he will drop his weapon too. He was effectively counterattacked by the knight. So these 2 fighters will end this battle with 2 damage each. Drogan must also use his next action in the next round to pick up his weapon. Everything else would be really stupid. There are no enemies near Orrick, so he will use his first action to move to the wall and his second action to set his ladder. On the opposite side of the keep, Marek, the Scavenger, is ready to climb. He uses his grappling hook, climbs to the top of the wall, and his second action is to retrieve his climbing gear. So he will carefully take his grappling hook with him. He is now the warrior in the highest position, and he's also close to a resource cache. Smart move. The scout fell down in the last round. Now he moves to another spot on the wall where he will try to set his grappling hook. That also takes a skill check, and he also rolls a 1 this time. Luckily for him, he was not climbing, but he will not put his grappling hook anywhere, and that will end his activation. Avelyn will once more try to climb, and she fails again. She only needs a 3. This time she did not fall down. She rolled a 2, and she will give up. Instead, she will move here to the corner of the keep and see what happens between Drogan and Ser Gerbrandt. And what happens is that Ser Gerbrandt will move to the wall, and then he will try to climb. And he has a low skill of 5, but he will make it with a roll of 6. So he will climb the wall away from Drogan, and he can't see Avelyn because she is a Night Stalker. So until she attacks or pushes someone or searches a resource cache, she is practically invisible. But never mind, Ser Gerbrandt is now also moving his way up into the keep, and so is his fellow Doom Company warrior, Orrick. The third round will also begin with an initiative roll. And it's a 4 for the Iron Crows, and they will lose the initiative to the Order of the Final Flame, and the Scout will once again not use his ability. So Avelyn will activate first. She tries to climb again, and it's another roll of 2. Normally a warrior can only try a type of action once, but an action with a skill check is an exception, so she can try to climb again, and in her second attempt, she will make it. Still, Ser Gerbrandt cannot push or attack her. He cannot see her, so he will activate and he will move to the resource cache. And his second action will be to search it. He has a skill of 5 and he fails. So far he has found nothing. He can try one more time, and if he fails the second time, the resource cache is practically empty or destroyed. But he will have to wait to the next round to do that. So Drogan is left here, and he will pick up his weapon. That's his first action, and his second action, he is all alone, and he of course also wants to get higher up to escape the creeping death. So he will move to the wall. Jarn, the scout, also has a grappling hook. He needs a 4 to set the grappling hook, and this time he will do it. So he will put the grappling hook here at the highest position of the wall. He can now use his second action to scale the full distance of the grappling hook, but he is technically still on the grappling hook. Not before his next activation. He will be safe on the wall. And that could turn out to be dangerous, because this is the same level as Marek the Scavenger. He could choose to search the resource caches, but he could also make another choice, and he will do so. He will move to the edge of the wall where the scout is still hanging in the rope, and then he will remove the grappling hook. He will push the scout down, and once more he will hit the bottom, down, back into the creeping death, and this time it's a higher distance. It's a roll of 5, and we will add 1 because he was Higher up, he will take 2 damage, and that will bring him dangerously close to death. He now has only 1 vitality left. Orrick will scale the ladder, and he will use his second action to retrieve his climbing gear, so he is on the wall with the ladder, so he can use it another time. It's the end of the 3rd round. The unlucky scout is still on the ground, and so is Drogan. All other warriors are now inside the keep. So let's go to round 4. Initiative again. And this time it's a tie, and the Iron Crows will win because of their scout, who is still alive. Ser Gerbrandt will activate first, and he will take his second and final attempt to see if he can find something in the resource caches. He needs a roll of 5, that's not good enough. He has a captain reroll, and it could be a good time to use it. So he will try again, and he's forced to take the second result, and it's another 3. So with 2 attempts and nothing found, the resource cache here will be removed, and Ser Gerbrandt will have nothing. So his second action is to move further into the keep. The Scavenger just pushed the scout down in the last round, so everything is peaceful. He can move to the resource cache and see if he has more luck. He has a skill of 3. And that's absolutely no problem. He will search and find something in his first attempt. Let's see what he finds. It's a 3. The Scavenger finds a scholarly scroll. He can use that scroll once if he fails a skill check, and if he uses it, he will immediately pass the check. Really nice to have. And equally as important, he will score 1 resource cache for the Order of the Final Flame. Jarn, the heavily wounded scout, has not given up yet, and he will once again set his grappling hook and try to get as far up as possible. So with the hook in the right position, he can use his second action, and still he is not on the wall, he is on his way, and in danger of being pushed again. But the Scavenger has already activated, and Jarn can still take the initiative if he wants to. That could be his advantage. Drogan is at the wall. He is not very skilled. He needs a 6 to get up. He has 2 attempts, and he rolls a 1 in the first attempt, so he will fall down. Let's see if he takes any falling damage. And it's a 3, so 1 damage. He can try again, but chances are not high. Come on, Drogan, get a... close, but he will still be at the very bottom. Orrick is next, and he could actually reach the 3rd resource cache, but instead he makes a move to the edge here, and he sets his ladder down, because Ser Gerbrandt is waiting, and he's not able to climb up here. He will need the ladder. This Doom Company works as a team. But now is the time for Avelyn the Flame to step out of the shadows. She will move to Ser Gerbrandt, and then she will attack. She has 2 attacks because she dual wields daggers. And she has a combat of 4. The daggers will do 1 damage, and that is a great roll. 2 hits, and one of them is a roll of 6. That's a piercing blow that will breach Ser Gerbrandt's breathing apparatus if he doesn't do something. And the knight might be the only warrior who can actually do something, because he can use his ability Shield of the Realm. He can block all incoming damage after a successful attack. He won't even have to roll for defenses. So he will of course use that ability now. He can only use it once per game, so it's over. But it will block Avelyn's attack. And his breathing apparatus is still intact. If a warrior is breached, they will have to roll a skill check before any activation, and if they fail, they lose 1 vitality. So it's not good to be breached. Several of the warriors are now wounded. Drogan has lost 3 vitality, but he has a vitality of 7, so it's not that bad. It's worse with Jarn the Scout. He has lost 3 vitality, and Ser Gerbrandt also wounded. Let's go to round number 5, and it's crucial that the Iron Crows win this one, and they win it even without the scout's ability. They can still activate first. But who will activate first? Jarn the scout is hanging on the wall, but Ser Gerbrandt the captain is also in danger, because Avelyn can perform her kill shot on him if he does not activate. So he will begin, and he will strike her first, and that's another great attack. 2 attacks, and also 1 piercing blow. Avelyn, with a defense of 5, fails both her defense rolls. She will take 1 damage for each hit, but she will also be breached. Her breathing apparatus is breached, and she will now lose 1 vitality if she does not pass a skill check every time she activates. That was a huge attack from Ser Gerbrandt. Unfortunately, that means that the Scavenger will once again move to the scout and push him down the wall. And he needs a really low roll to survive, because it's almost 6 inches. And he will have to add 1 to the roll. So anything else than a roll of 1 will kill him. And it's over. Jarn the scout will for the 3rd time drop to the ground, and this time he will not get up again. With the ladder set to make a passage for Ser Gerbrandt, Orrick will now first move and then dash, and that will take him all the way into base contact with the 3rd resource cache. He can search it in the next round. Avelyn is wounded and she's in danger. Drogan has to get up to her now. Come on, Drogan. It's another failed attempt, and the 2nd attempt, oh my god. He will not move anywhere. Avelyn will have to do it by herself, the battle of the captains, but before she can activate, she must pass a skill check, otherwise she will lose 1 vitality. She has a skill of 5, and it's a 6! She will make it. She can activate, and she will strike Ser Gerbrandt with 2 attacks. She'll hit with 1 of them, fail the other, and he now has to block. And it's the first time he's attacked this round, so he will benefit from his shield, and he just makes it. No damage. Jarn is dead, and so far none of the Doom companies have reached the top. Let's see what happens in round number 6. 2 rounds left. A standard game is 7 rounds, and initiative is crucial now. If Avelyn wins, she can kill-shot Gerbrandt, and that will bring him close to death. And if Gerbrandt takes it, he can crush her. And Gerbrandt will win the initiative. He doesn't have a scout to help him, but he makes it on his own. Gerbrandt can attack twice with his axe, and he hits with both his attacks. Avelyn has already lost 2 vitality, and she's breached, and she will not defend any of the attacks. She will take 2 more damage that will take her vitality down to 1. And being breached, she will have to pass a skill check. And Gerbrandt is out of there. He will climb the ladder and follow his Doom Company fighter. Marek is on the other side of the castle. He will once again try to put the grappling hook as high up as possible. But with a roll of 1, that's not gonna happen. Or is it? He can use his special ability, Determination. That will give him a reroll, and he can use that once per round, not just once per game. And that will be successful. He is surely determined. The grappling hook will attach, and he is ready to climb up the wall once again. He will have to use an action next round to get off the rope, so he's not quite up yet. But, well, who will stop him? Orrick, maybe? Let's see what he can do. He will try to search the resource cache, and with a skill of 5, he's successful on a 6. Let's see what he can find. He will even the score. Both Doom companies have now successfully searched 1 resource cache. And what's in it? It's another scholarly scroll for Orrick. Fine. That will be helpful. With his next action, he will scale the ladder. He is, as with the grappling hook, still on the ladder and technically not at the top yet. Avelyn has her back against the wall. A failed skill check now, and she will inhale the creeping death and die, but she will once again pass the skill check. So she will move to the ladder and kick it away under Ser Gerbrandt, so he will fall down. He did not reach the top. He was on the ladder, but he rolls low enough, and his armor might help as well. He will take no damage, but he's rolling around in the dirt at the feet of Avelyn the Flame. Drogan struggles at the wall, and he will end his activation without any kind of result. So frustrating. He really made a bad choice moving after the knight. He should have taken the stairs instead. 1 round left, and so far the Order of the Final Flame looks like the winning Doom Company. They control the highest point on the battlefield, and they have taken 1 Iron Crow out. Round 7. Once again, initiative. If it's a tie in this round, the Doom Company that did not win the last round will take the initiative. And wow, it's a tie. 2 rolls of 6. And the Iron Crows activated first in the last round. So the initiative will go to the Order of the Final Flame. And that means Avelyn. She can kill shot Ser Gerbrandt that will deal 4 damage and kill him. But first, she must pass a skill check to see if she can breathe. And it's a 4. She needed a 5. She'll take 1 vitality of damage, and that will take her down to 0. She couldn't breathe anymore. The creeping death finally got her. With no breathing apparatus, this is the conclusion. Avelyn the Flame, the captain of the Order, is down. Orrick moves to the wall, and he makes a climb attempt. And with a skill of 5, he makes it. And since it's not a ladder or a hook, he is on the top floor with the Scavenger now. At this moment, the 2 Doom Companies have exactly the same amount of points. They have the same resource caches, they have the same amount of warriors alive, and they are at the top level, both of them. The Scavenger could try to push the fighter down, but the fighter has a scholarly scroll, so he will pass the skill check and stay. So instead, he decides to search the resource cache. He needs a 3. He is very skilled, and he makes it easily, and he would have had his determination. So, no problem. Marek will search the resource cache, and he finds a 2. That's food. Well, how nice. But, of course, the most important is the points, because the Order of the Final Flame now have 2 resource caches. And Ser Gerbrandt and Drogan are practically out of the game. They can't do anything that will change the points. None of the Doom Companies will score high ground. None of the Doom Companies will score attrition. But the Order of the Final Flame will score 1 victory point for resourceful, because they successfully opened the most resource caches. If it is a tie at the end of round 7, the game will go into fight to the death, but that will be some other time. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future bad reps.